Good morning, everyone. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. Why do I even say that? Well, that's because every day is a new opportunity and we're not growing younger. I set up this YouTube channel as a personal project. I'm camera shy, but I'm even shy on holding a camera in public. So here I am, walking and talking. Today I want to show you part of the oldest streets of Bucharest, which is called Calea Victoriei, Victory Way. Now it's not the oldest, but it is considered to be the first official street of Bucharest, 1692, when under Prince Constantin Brâncoveanu it was decided that it will be paved with old paves. Constantin Brâncoveanu was one of the princes of Țara Românească, or Wallachia if you wish, who wanted to modernize these lands. However, back then his state was still submitted to the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans didn't see his modernizing ambitions with good eyes, so he has lost his head in 1711, not before watching the executioners doing that to all of his 4 sons. The street is now a mix of emblematic buildings of Bucharest from various historical periods. So I'd like to show you a few of them. It will be a micro tour, but still something that I really care about. One of the iconic buildings in this area is the Hotel Athenee Palace, completed in 1914 and designed by French architect Théophile Braudot. During the first years of World War I, from 1914 to 1916, Romania was a neutral country, so this is where the press would gather to collect information and send information to their original countries. The current shape dates back from 1937, which was upgraded under architect Duilu Marcu, Romanian, more like in an Art Deco style. The hotel has quite a rich history. It suffered a lot, but eventually today it's doing pretty well, having a income of around $5 million per year. In April 1944, the US Air Force bombed Bucharest and the building was heavily damaged. It was repaired afterwards. Then, during communist times, it was still used as a hotel. Richard Nixon visited the place in 1968. In 1989, during the events, the building suffered quite some damage. There were bullet holes everywhere. So it was restored in 1996. This current version dates back from 2022. After the union of the 2 principalities on the 24th of January 1859, Romanians' aspirations grew more and more. Starting with 1865, a commission dedicated to sciences and art was formed. Eventually, they decided to have a building dedicated to these preoccupations. In 1888, the Romanian Athenaeum started to be built. The construction continued until 1897. The style is neoclassic with some Romantic influences. The architect was French architect Albert Galeron. I am trying to go around a guided tour so we can have a better view. Part of this construction was built through public subscription. The motto was Dați un leu pentru Athenee, donate 1 leu for the Athenaeum. It was built with 600 seats on the ground floor and 52 lodges. It has the main historical figures displayed through those mosaics here. And now we have again the guided tour blocking our view. In 1919, this place was the building of ratification of the union of all Romanian provinces, including Bessarabia, which is today Republic of Moldova, Bucovina, Transylvania. An interesting building from the 1870s is restaurant Cina, the dinner, which was designed by Romanian architect Philip Xenopol. Unfortunately, this is in the hands of some investment fund, which is butchering the architectural style of the building by adding those steel beams, trying to transform it into some sort of nightclub, and of course spoiling the original architecture of the building. We'll be able to see another one also with this strange mixture of classical and modern styles. Restaurant Cina Dinner was established in 1922 or 1923, and it became one of the most famous restaurants of Bucharest due to its French cuisine. It seemed to be my lucky day, but we're in a public space, so it doesn't matter. As I'm waiting for that group to move up so we can talk about these places, this area was marked by turmoil around its history, even from medieval times. But as mentioned, Athenee Palace was built in 1914. In 1916, Bucharest was under occupation, so this area was occupied by both German and Bulgarian armies, and Ottoman as well, but the most damaging was the Bulgarian army, whose soldiers looted pretty much everything that they could loot from here. In 1944, the building got damaged as a result of the US Air Force bombings on Bucharest. And if we're talking about this building here, this one was bombed by the Luftwaffe in 1944 after 23rd of August, when Romania joined the Allies. Now this one here was built in 1937, and it used to be the Royal Palace of Romania under King Carol II. Today it houses the National Art Museum of Romania, so if you're interested of paying it a visit, please do so. Symmetrical appearance with a central building and two wings. It was designed by Romanian architect Nicolae Cretulescu, and here is where King Carol II, the third king of Romania, had his official residence. King Carol II is quite controversial. He's being also called the Playboy King. Now this is the place which was built for him, but then in 1940 he resigned. This is the place where his son, King Mihai, became the fourth king of Romania, and this is also the place where King Mihai was giving the order Pobeda by the Soviets for organizing the coup against the previous leader, Ion Antonescu, the one who involved Romania along Germany. As retaliation, the Luftwaffe bombed this building, so the king could no longer have its official residence here, eventually moving in Elisabeta Palace next to the Triumphal Arch. On 30th of November 1947, the Soviets, as a sign of gratitude, after awarding him with the highest award, Pobeda, forced him to resign, and then the full Soviet and communist terror was unleashed on Romania. The story also says that King Carol II had a secret tunnel from which he would be evacuated, but he would be using that tunnel to visit his mistresses. When we turn left, we can notice also this beautiful building which was erected in 1893, architect French Paul Gauthreau. It's called Foundation of Carol I. Today serves as one of the national libraries, and it had more than 600,000 volumes, which were heavily damaged on the days of December 1989. Unfortunately, most of these books have burned. The guys who took the power didn't care about the national heritage of Romania. They just cared about submitting the country to the Soviet Union one more time. And today it's been restored, and other volumes replace the original ones, which were gathered from various libraries of Romania. On 10th of May 1939, a statue of King Carol I, designed by Yugoslavian back then citizen Ivan Mestrovic, was placed in front of the royal palace. The statue celebrated 100 years since the birth of King Carol I, the first king of Romanians. On 30th of November 1947, as soon as King Mihai, the last king of Romania, signed his resignation forced by the Soviets, the statue was taken down by tanks. The bronze was later used to make the Lenin statue in Bucharest. The artist, however, sued the Romanian government for destroying his works in the 1950s. The government lost, but they still evaded payment. That's until one of the Romanian ships was arrested in a port in Holland. The current version was designed in 2008 by Romanian artist Florin Codre. Of course, it is different than the original because they could not actually copy, which brought a lot of critique on this particular monument. We can notice that the hand of the king is not on the hip but next to the body. He's not wearing his general hat. The tail of the horse is in a weird position, looking like he's about to do some natural stuff. The front leg is risen, although the king did not die as the result of the wounds of the war. However, the story goes that he was wounded in his heart for having to abstain from helping his own country, Germany, because now he was king of Romania. Another critique was brought to the fact that the horse's jewels are quite visible from this particular area, shaped as a heart. Another interesting building which stands out in this area is the Order of Architects in Romania. This building has an interesting story. If you're wondering why it looks the way it looks, it's because they wanted to keep the original destroyed facade with its style and the marks of the turmoil happening here in 1989, as well as the new modern Bucharest. The lower side of the building was designed by architect J. Hinberts for a gentleman called Cretulescu. Until World War I began, it was the embassy of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. During communist times, it was used as the headquarters of the 5th Direction of Securitate, Secret Police, Protocol and Protection, pretty much the equivalent of secret services. During the events of 1989, it was fired upon and also Molotov cocktails were thrown at it, so it was burned down. Since 2003 is the headquarters of the Architects Order in Romania, which added a new independent building within the shell of the old one, showing the beginning of a new era. The idea was to allow the marks from the gunfights of 1989 to be still visible, but I would like to show you something else, because this one was kept on this stage intentionally. But this is a regular apartment building, and if you're looking on the walls, you'll be noticing bullet holes which are still there. Now, unintentionally, I see this gentleman on a Trabant, which was a car made in East Germany. In 1938, Romanian architect Paulus Mărândescu was designated to make the plans of a building for the ministries of the Romanian government. Due to the outbreak of World War II, the building was not completed. The works resumed in the 1950s under the communist regime this time, and it served as the Central Committee of the Communist Party. This building is iconic because you can see it in most of the footage regarding the last speech of Nicolae Ceausescu, which happened on the 21st of December 1989. By 1968, Romania was already a member of Warsaw Pact, which was a counter to NATO. In the same year, the Soviet Union, along with other Warsaw Pact members, invaded Czechoslovakia for adopting a more relaxed style of communism. Under Ceausescu, Romania not only that it did not participate to the invasion, but he held a very bold speech on that balcony over there, criticizing the Soviet Union for doing so, stating that they should not get involved into the internal business of other states. This created a lot of tension between Romania and the Soviet Union, which also made Ceausescu a star in the Western world. And this is how he started his tours in the West, and that's how Richard Nixon visited Romania in 1968. After about 20 years, Ceausescu became very hated. Due to his policies, Romanians were suffering. In 1989, on the 21st of December, he also held his very last speech on that balcony. Today, the building serves as the headquarters of the Ministry of Interior. But if you're looking closer, you can notice it still has the bullet holes of 1989. This monument is dedicated to the fallen of 1989, the ones who lost their lives for liberty. Now, the monument is quite controversial due to its shape, and it was actually called Potato on a Spike. The official name is Rebirth, and it's representing a nest emerging from the middle of the cross. And let me explain it to you. Now here you can notice the ends of the cross. On this side, the names of the victims, the names of the martyrs. And then you can see we're continuing down the cross. You can notice the pavement is made of chopped young trees, which is representing the fact that these people were quite young. And as we turn around, you can see it a little bit better. May they rest in peace. Across the street of one of the symbols of the Communist Party, which by default was extremely atheist, is this small church, which is called Cretulescu Church, built between 1720 and 1722. The current version of the church, with the red bricks, dates back from the restoration of 1936. It was damaged in the earthquake of 1940, but fixed, and then as the communist regime was installed in Romania, it was on the plan to be demolished. However, due to the fact that there was a lot of pressure not to destroy such a historical monument, plus that the communist regime was still fresh in Romania, it was spared. Some say that the communists and the Soviets who visited the area, seeing it made of red bricks, just ignored it, associating red to the Communist Party. From the age point of view, this is the oldest building in the area, as mentioned, dating back from 1720, belonging to one of the Romanian boyars, or the equivalent of lords if you wish, Iordache Cretulescu. Let's have a look around it. I believe that some of the original paintings are still kept in the hallway. Check out the woodwork and the craftsmanship on the door. There's the church. I'll try to show you some of the original 18th century paintings. The oasis of silence and peace within the city noise. That was the little tour of today. I'm hoping that you'll be liking it. It's just a glimpse in Bucharest on one of its oldest streets, Calea Victoriei, Victory Way. Let me know if you'd like to see another part of the street, and I'll be more than happy to show it to you. I would like to spend more time in the area, but the battery is almost gone. Feel free to engage me in the comments if you have any additional questions, suggestions or critiques. As mentioned, I'm pretty much camera shy. I also am shy on walking with the camera, but I'm doing my best. I need some encouragement. I have a lot of information in my head, but when I'm trying to speak, I'm starting stuttering and, making poses. So I'm working on it, I promise. Also, this tour costed me 10 lei for the parking. Pretty much the same 10-20 lei for the gas to reach here. Drove for about 20 minutes. Thinking about parking, it's very close to the Royal Palace. Lucky with the weather as well, although it's winter. Surprisingly, I was lucky to get a day off on a Sunday, which I will dedicate it to you guys.